I'm a typical French woman, eternally dissatisfied. For me, the weather is always too awful, too grey, or too cold. So to deal with this terrible flaw, I've decided to go where this really is the case. I'm flying out to Yakutsk in far eastern Russia. It's the capital of the Sakha Republic, or Yakutia, an area 6 times the size of France. Yakutsk is famous for being the world's coldest city. A city built on permafrost in the heart of Siberia, the land of gulags. Here, the average temperature in winter is minus 42 degrees Celsius, and the lowest temperature ever recorded is minus 64 degrees Celsius. I want to see how people can live normal lives in such an extreme climate. What is daily life like for Yakutsk's 300,000 residents? To find out, I'm going to live like them for several weeks, in temperatures that only Everest climbers and explorers of the poles have ever experienced. I intend to blend in and make the city mine.
Наш самолет совершил посадку в Якутске. Местное время 7 часов 30 минут. Разница во времени между Москвой и Якутском плюс 6 часов. Температура воздуха плюс 37 градусов по Цельсию.
In Yakutsk, more than anywhere else, you pray your luggage has made it too. Because there is no way you can step outside without several layers. At least that's what I've been told, because to be honest, I've never experienced such freezing temperatures. It's freezing. God. It's amazing how quickly you feel the cold. God, everything's frozen. I don't believe this. Could that be Valerie? Valerie is the cabbie who's taking me to my Yakut hosts. Is it him or not? Hello, Valerie? I'm Alexandra. All right? Okay. It's freezing here, Valerie. Oh. Okay, go. I heard on the plane that it was minus 37, 38 today, right now.
Yes. It's warmed up today. It was minus 41, minus 42 yesterday morning. And this morning it was minus 38. It's warmer.
Minus 38 is warm? Okay, if you say so.
Minus 35 or minus 40 is normal. Minus 50 is a bit chilly for us. And minus 60 is downright cold.
God, minus 60. It doesn't bear thinking about. Isn't driving here difficult? On these permanently frozen roads?
Yes. In winter, what's difficult is the colder it is, the foggier the city gets. It's the fog that's dangerous. When it's foggy, you can't see a car 10 meters ahead of you. It's like driving through milk. We have to get our cars ready for winter too. We adapt them according to the season. This is a special double-glazed windshield, and on the windows too. We add an extra pane so they don't frost up. It helps keep the warmth in the car.
"15 hours after leaving Paris, I finally reached my destination. See you. Goodbye. Goodbye, Valerie. Thank you. I can't wait to meet Tamara and Nikolai, the couple who are putting me up. They live in this izba, a traditional wooden house. I'll be living with them for several weeks, like a true Yakut. Hello. I'm Alexandra. Was that right? Hello. Hello.
Saina. She's my daughter.
Your daughter?
My mum.
All right. Hey, I can speak Russian.
My sister-in-law.
Hello.
My dad.
Dad? Okay.
You must be freezing. I'm sure you're cold. You're lucky, though, you know. It's quite warm today. It's usually minus 45, minus 50.
How could you say it's warm? I don't believe it. Look, my fingers are really cold. Shall I take it off? The lot? I'm wearing tons of layers, you know. Taking all of this off is such a palaver. Show me around your home.
Visitez cette maison.
It's warm in here. This is lovely.
That's your bed.
This is all for me? This big room?
This is my parents' room.
That's another bedroom. The mother's room. There's something you haven't shown me. The toilet.
Our toilet is outside, over there.
Where's the toilet? Outside?
It's outside, over there.
Oh no. Why? But why?
That's how it is.
Isn't there one inside?
No, we don't have plumbing. We don't have pipes.
Of course, I hadn't thought of that. Bad news. The toilet is at the bottom of the garden, next to the dog's kennel. The idea of going out when it's minus 40 in the middle of the night doesn't exactly thrill me. But logically, you can't have running water when the pipes freeze 7 months out of 12. Fortunately, Tamara has a solution for those nighttime emergencies. Of course, a little bucket. Mine's the purple one.
Yes, that's yours. We empty them outside every morning, then wash them.
I'll help you. I'll help you. I'll help you. I promise I'll help. Talk about a great icebreaker. Few homes outside the city centre have running water. To get around the problem, Nikolai stores ice blocks in his garden, like we might store logs for the fire. He cut them out of a frozen river in autumn and has enough to last all winter. Once the ice has melted, they use the water to wash themselves and the dishes. Ah, there's a small sink here. And it falls into the bucket. There's no drainage system whatsoever. Right. There's a supply there, okay. Okay, and now? Ah, okay, if I push it. Okay.
And we have a banya, too.
A banya? What's that? Is it like a sauna?
Yes.
And the banya, do you use it every day?
No, once a week.
Mum's laughing. She thinks it's funny. I've just understood I'll only be allowed a shower once a week. In these few short hours, I've realized how much the cold affects the basic things in life. And I get the feeling there are more surprises in store. Right. How cold is it today? It's colder now. It's dropping. My nose isn't running, though. But maybe our nostrils are always a bit moist. I can feel the inside of my nose freezing. It's a pretty unpleasant sensation. But you still have to breathe through your nose. Because if you breathe through your mouth first, it isn't very pleasant in your throat. And you could really feel your teeth. It's weird. I can't usually feel my teeth in my mouth. But when I breathe through my mouth, I can. You really have to breathe through your nose. You rediscover your body parts here. Right, you stop there. Minus 42 is quite enough. In cold like this, a 30-minute walk through the snow is enough to freeze your feet. In other words, with my city slicker shoes, I could end up losing my toes. Sayina, Tamara's daughter, takes me to a store in town where I can buy authentic Yakut boots. What do you think of these? Do you like them?
Yes, they really suit you.
Shall I take them? Yes? And what is this? Which animal, which type of fur?
They're reindeer legs. We call it camus. It's the lower part of the legs, the warmest and most resistant. Reindeer are the warmest animals.
I see.
Even when it's minus 50 or 60, your legs will be warm.
Ah, not bad, huh? Not bad at all. Apart from the reindeer, which is farmed, they tell me all the furs sold here are produced by hunting wild animals. It's still an important activity in Yakutia. The most highly prized is the fur of the Russian sable, a species of marten. Its fur is the silkiest and therefore the most expensive. A sable yushanka, or Russian fur cap, can cost as much as 700 euros. In fact, the search for this soft gold brought the Russians to Siberia in the 17th century, and they gradually colonized the Yakutsk territory. Geez, that's very... This is real feminine chic. It's Yakut chic. It's a bit big. No, actually, it's perfect. Look, it's just my size. I must admit, I feel a little guilty pleasure, but it isn't every day I get to wear a fur coat like this. Oh, wow. I hadn't noticed the back. Real Yakut, huh? The coat, how much is it?
The coat costs 2,000 euros, and the hat 450 euros.
Okay. But you know, in France, some people would lynch me for buying a fur.
Here in Siberia, fur is part of our culture. We have a totally different relationship to nature. And no artificial fur, no technical material, offers better protection from the cold. Our philosophy is that animals were created by the superior forces, so we could live and survive in these extreme conditions, raise our children, and secure our future. That's why animals are at man's service.
The fact is, in Yakutsk, fur doesn't have bad press like it does at home. 8 in 10 women wear it. As for me, even with my boots and fur cap, I quickly understand that you can't stay out long in this cold. I definitely won't be strolling around Yakutsk. Let's go into the movie theatre for a bit. The tips of my fingers are completely frozen. Damn. Damn. My fingertips are frozen. Sugar. Oh, come on, quick.
Allez vite. Allez.
Oh, damn it. I can't feel them. I can't feel the tips of my fingers. It makes you realize how dangerous it is. It happens really fast. Okay, let's get going. That's insane. Those people just got out of that car. There's no one in it. And they've left the engine running. Because otherwise, when the driver gets back, he won't be able to start it. It freezes. So all these cars are idling while parked. Unbelievable. What is that? What's he doing? What's this?
I'm warming up the car. I warm up cars that are frozen. This car broke down because the tailpipe froze. There was no outlet for the gas, so it broke down. It often happens with cars here. You've most likely seen the stalactites on tailpipes. I'm pumping warm air underneath it.
Show me. Wow, there's even a blanket on it. You're in the city. But if I broke down outside Yakutsk, in the middle of the countryside, what would happen?
You would die. It's very dangerous.
It'd be catastrophic then.
It can be fatal.
Oh, boy. I'm going to the country, to the Lena River.
The climate is very harsh here. If you don't exert yourself, you'll survive for a few hours. And if you manage to make a fire, you'll last a bit longer. In cold like this, you freeze quickly.
So how can I keep warm if I break down in a really remote spot? What can I do to survive?
You have to burn the spare tire, parts of the inside of the car, the seats, the mats. It's rubber, so it burns easily and generates heat. You can burn the four tires too to keep warm. Anything that burns, you can set light to. Once you've burned everything, you can burn the car.
It's working. In Yakutsk, the cold kills 150 to 200 people every year. Even forgetting your gloves could land you in hospital. How do people get accustomed to this life, where danger lurks as soon as you step outside? Hello, doggy. Hello, doggy. Oh, boy. This dog is so damn scary.
Hey.
Today, I'm going to help Tamara's daughter-in-law. She works at the city's market. An outdoor market, obviously. Apparently, it's one of the toughest jobs in Yakutsk. But I'd like to understand how people can work outside all day. Tamara, I've put on plenty of layers, but I'm not sure it's enough. I've got tights and 2 pairs of socks on. And these trousers too. Is that enough?
Нет?
No, it's cold outside. You'll freeze dressed like that. This is too thin. This is really thin too. I'll get you some of my clothes.
You'll lend me some? This isn't any good? Okay.
Oh là là. Oh là là.
Tamara worked on the stall at the market too for 15 years, and she's kept all of her gear. What's this? Are they yours? Is there a back and a front to these? Maybe not.
Oh!
You know, it's been ages since a mum dressed me. A very long time. Back to childhood.
1 hour outside is already really tough, so imagine what a day's like. You have to dress quickly and go. Otherwise, you'll sweat, then catch cold when you go out. You have to hurry.
No kidding.
Oh là là.
And you're a Shanka. If you're cold, there are small kiosks. Don't hesitate to go in them to get warm. And don't stay outside too long.
Okay, bye. Goodbye, Tamara. Paka, paka, paka. Okay, off I go. Shall I take that? God, I've never done this before. There's a lot of fat. To be a butcher in Yakutsk, you have to be a bit of a carpenter too. More? Because they cut up the frozen meat as if it were a block of wood. Wow, that's some steak. Sargilana is Tamara's daughter-in-law. We're taking the whole leg. She has a meat stall at the market. Oh boy, this is as heavy as a dead donkey. Like that? And then we pull the sled?
We'll get some porters. We won't manage on our own. We'll use some porters, okay?
All right. This is great. It's awesome. I get the strange feeling I'm in an open-air freezer, where the fish are lined up like baguettes. You can't ask for fillets here. You buy the fish whole, or so many cubic meters. At least no one can complain the produce isn't fresh here. What's that? Oh, rabbits. Oh my God. Ugh. I don't believe it. It's frozen. It's as hard as a rock. Oh boy. There you go, bunny.
Up.
This is wild. Unbelievable. Come on, ladies and gents. Come buy my meat. It's really tasty. There.
Up.
2.4 kilos, 920. It's crazy. Everyone is touching the meat. No one would get away with that at a butcher's back home. You have to explain, Sagi, because I don't even know what we're selling.
These are foal chops. That's foal steak.
And what's this?
That's foal liver.
I get the impression your foal is a bit like pork back home. If I tell people in France I sold foal, it'll be off with my head. For sure. Not here, huh?
It'll be our secret. But foal meat is good. We even eat it raw.
This is what the lady wants? I'll put it on the scales. 2.5 kilos. This is excellent meat, ma'am. Oh dear, wow. What's she going to do with all this? How long have you been working here?
6 years.
It isn't too hard?
A bit.
You started to say no, and then...
I have to earn a living. Of course it's hard. We start early in the morning and stay till 6 p.m. We used to make a good living, but there's a recession now. Times are hard. Some days we sell a lot, some days we don't sell anything. But we still have to tend the stall all day.
How do you cope? This morning, Tamara put layers and layers on me. I look like an onion.
I'm used to it. If I feel cold, I add an extra layer. But it's fine today. I'll be okay like this. It's quite warm.
These store holders spend 10 hours a day in the cold, exposing themselves to chronic respiratory diseases and rheumatism. As for me, I have my eye on the reindeer skin rug on the stall opposite ours. Because, as a typical Frenchwoman, after just 2 hours outside, I can't feel my toes anymore. Should I go into that grocery store? I follow Tamara's advice and decide to get warm before it's too late. I lasted barely half a day. Not bad for a first try, but not worthy of a self-respecting Yakut.
Did you like the market?
Yes, I loved it. I sold foal in every form. I saw some little bunnies. Oh, frozen rabbits. That were as hard as wood. It was awful. They were like this. I'm so happy. Is it party time? What's going on? What's happening? Are you having a party? Oh, boy. You're nuts. All this food. Tamara and her daughter Saina have arranged a surprise for me. They've cooked up a feast of Yakut specialities. There's enough for an army. They take their food seriously here. But that's totally understandable. It's a matter of survival in Yakutsk. Your body burns more calories to stay warm. There. And the last one. Shall I sit here? There, this is for me. Come on. Oh, she's coming to sit with Tamara, with Granny. The whole family is here. Alla, Saina's youngest child, her son Jan, and her niece. The main delicacy here is stroganina, frozen raw fish. Oh, sorry. Oh dear, he's cutting it like nobody's business. At the market this morning, I was surprised to see frozen fish. I wasn't expecting to eat it like this tonight. And foal even less so. And that's frozen too?
Cold meat.
Cold meat. Frozen meat. Frozen foal liver, to be precise. And you eat it like this? Okay, it's really hard. Once in your mouth, it tastes like blood ice cream. But I'll keep that to myself. It's good. What's that?
Slices of frozen raw foal.
If we only ate fruit and vegetables, we wouldn't last the winter. It's the meat that makes us strong. For us, fall meat is like medicine. There's no cholesterol in its fat, just good things, like omega-3. It has plenty of health benefits.
The Yakuts eat raw foal liver because it's rich in vitamin D, a perfect way to compensate for lack of sunlight in winter. More? I'll just take a bit. It's said we French eat a lot. We sit down for a meal and spend hours over it. But I say the Yakuts beat the French hands down.
Really? Thank you. We didn't know.
Don't mention it.
Oh la la.
Today, look how cold it is. For the first time since I got here, I've left the city to explore the Siberian taiga. I'm with Paul, a horse breeder who supplies the market in Yakutsk. He says he knows these tracks like the back of his hand. I hope that's true. I've sold horse meat here. I've even eaten it. It's high time I actually saw some horses. The Yakut horse is unique. Of all animals, along with the reindeer, it is the most resistant to cold. The Yakuts and their horses arrived in Siberia over 8 centuries ago. Over time, their respective organisms have adapted to the extreme climate. But neither could have survived without the other's help. Can I try to touch him or not?
No. They're wild, semi-wild. We feed these foals in winter. But when they're 3 years old, they'll be released into the wild. Like the others, the adults, they'll be able to go into the taiga. And we'll bring them here just once a year.
Paul has 70 horses, but no stables. Yakut horses don't need them. They live freely in the forest. Their remarkable morphology means they can endure temperatures of -70 degrees Celsius. Thanks to their exceptionally hard hooves, the adults don't need to be shod to walk in the snow, and they can find their own food. It's wild. They're raking the snow and grazing on the grass. It's incredible.
If you look here, where they've dug,
Ah, yes.
it's green. You see?
It's green. It isn't fresh, but it is green.
The grass is frozen, just like a frozen vegetable. It has retained all the essential microelements, all the vitamins. The frost comes suddenly here, so it's preserved. It provides the horses with enough energy to last the winter. At his stud farm, Paul still has to feed the youngest horses. He tends to the sick and injured too. We have to keep a close eye on them to make sure none are weak. There are all sorts of problems in the fall. Wolves and bears are a real danger here. Last week, the wolves attacked 3 of my horses. For we Yakut, the horse is not simply a horse. In our culture, it's like a god. They're present in our myths, our songs, our proverbs. We Yakuts say we're descended from the horse god, that we're the children of the horse.
Paul is right. The Yakut and their horses have a calmness of temperament, which is definitely their best weapon against this harsh climate. These waffles are delicious. Tamara's waffles. This morning, Tamara and Nikolai tell me about their childhood. They assure me the winters were much harder back then. I daren't even imagine what they were like. But it makes me wonder whether the world's coldest city is feeling the effects of climate change too. Tamara has advised me to go into town to visit the Permafrost Institute. Permafrost is a subsurface layer of rock or soil that is frozen all year round, even when the barometer hits 30. This distinctive feature explains the city's strange appearance. Gas and water pipelines run above the ground because they can't be buried. Most buildings are constructed on stilts to prevent them heating the permafrost and subsiding. Like these old izba built directly on the ground, which are earmarked for demolition. At the Institute, scientists are closely monitoring this phenomenon. Here, another Alexandra leads me down to the city's old basement. Okay. In I go.
We're going to go down 8 meters, but we could go 12 meters underground.
Wow, into the bowels of the earth. And the last story. Wow, this is amazing. It's incredible. Oh, it's cold down here, really cold. Wow, it's incredible. These crystals are really beautiful, really beautiful.
Here in the middle of Yakutia, the permafrost is 300 meters thick. Beneath our feet, there are 300 meters of frozen ground.
Wow, and it's -10 right now. In the summer, what temperature is it here?
The same temperature. That's the unique thing about permafrost. It's permanently frozen. We're in the permafrost layer here, so the temperature will be the same if you come in summer.
And in your offices up there, above ground, I imagine you're studying climate change too, because it must affect Yakutsk, right? How is it impacting the city?
Climate change is a fact. In the 1980s, the average temperature of permafrost was -11 degrees Celsius. Now, it's -8 degrees Celsius. So we're definitely seeing the effects of global warming. But we're optimistic scientists, so we don't make terrible predictions about melting ice or rising sea levels.
If the permafrost temperature continues to rise, if it melts, what will be the impact on Yakutsk, the city above our heads?
Pessimistically speaking, the entire city will collapse like a house of cards. All the buildings will fall down, and the entire region will warm dramatically. Obviously, we have to do our utmost to prevent that.
Seeing Yakutsk today, it's hard to imagine it in danger. The city keeps growing. New apartment blocks are springing up on every street corner. Modern housing with central heating and running water, even in winter. The polar cold hasn't scared anyone off, on the contrary. The population has increased by 100,000 in just 15 years. Then again, Yakutia has vast oil, gas, gold, and diamond reserves. It's said in these parts that when flying over Yakutia one winter's day, God's hands were freezing and he dropped all of his treasures.
Привет! Александра, привет! 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 8h30.
It's 8:30 a.m. And what's Tamara doing? Cooking. Food is very important here. Rice and meat patties. Two weeks after I got here, I had my second bath. Or rather, my second basin of hot water. Between indoors and out, there's a temperature difference of 100 degrees. It's a shock to the system. Run! We have to run! Today, Sayana and her husband Nikolai are taking me fishing. They want to introduce me to the Yakut's favorite pastime. It's only 2 p.m., but the sun will be setting soon. There are only 5 hours of daylight in winter. The asphalt soon gives way to ice. We're driving on the Lena now. In winter, the river freezes over and becomes Yakutia's main thoroughfare. Oh, wow. This is beautiful. It's magnificent, truly magnificent.
Спасибо.
Nikolai, how do you know there's fish in there?
This is where we always fish. It's going to bite soon.
Wow, the ice. What are you doing?
It's a tradition. We Yakut are hunters. It's our custom to nourish nature before we hunt or fish. We make an offering of Yakut patties to the river or forest. It's important to feed them so they don't get offended.
Maybe we'll catch some fish, maybe not. It's like a game of roulette. It doesn't work every time. When we nourish the river, she doesn't always give us fish.
The Yakuts have managed to preserve their shamanistic beliefs. Despite the influence of Christianity and the long years of Soviet rule, they continue to safeguard their uniqueness in this far eastern Russian region, thousands of kilometers from Moscow. Do you feel more Russian, which you are? Or Yakut, which you are too? Which do you feel more?
I consider myself Yakut. At home, we mainly speak Yakut. We speak Yakut with our parents. How could I say I come from Russia when I've never even seen Moscow? I've never been there. And the fact is, the Muscovites don't know anything about Yakutia. I'm sure they think we live in huts, that we let bears sleep next to our yurts and drive reindeer sleds rather than cars.
Those are cliches for sure. But the fact is that living in Yakutsk presents all sorts of challenges. And I'm in a good position to know. You must feel proud, though, to live here. It's a tough life.
We Yakuts have a proverb that goes, "The Yakut is stubborn, but his children even more so."
We definitely have a real strength of character. Our ancestors were great warriors, and I think that remains in our spirit.
Got a fish? Is there...
Oh la la! Oh la 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 la!
We'll be able to feed the entire city now. Well done, our first fish. Sayana, you're better than me. I haven't caught a thing. What's that? Mr. Car Battery. What a job. Unbelievable. Hey. Oh boy, I don't believe it. How long has he been out there? What with Mr. Car Battery and the market traders, I thought I'd seen the worst jobs in the city. But Yakutsk never ceases to surprise me. In winter, the river port looks like a ship graveyard. Trapped in the ice since September, hundreds of vessels are laid up here. It's unbelievable. Do you hear that noise? I've spotted a guy working. I think he's behind there. Digging. See? Oh, there are two of them. What are you doing?
Qu'est-ce que vous faites?
We're freeing the ship from the ice, so we can get at the propeller and repair it. There are 2 more meters to go. We have to keep digging underneath.
But it's frozen. Why are you doing this in winter? Everything is trapped in the ice. Why don't you do it in summer?
We have a short summer shipping period. It only lasts 4 months. So as not to waste time with repairs, we do them in winter.
Can I join you down there? Sure, be my guest. Hang on, I have to... I don't believe this. I'm standing in the Lena. And the propeller. Is it underneath there?
There's a rudder here, a first and a second. Then further back, there's the propeller. We're freeing it completely. Then we'll warm up the propeller and the shaft and get them out.
I see. How long will it take you to reach the propeller?
It'll take us a month to get to the propeller, and a month and a half to remove the shaft.
And here, under my feet, how thick is the ice? Because you're digging and digging. How far do you have to go?
There are 15 centimeters here.
That's nothing. Andre thinks it's funny. I'm not laughing, though. But that's really thin. Could it break?
You can try jumping.
No way. I don't want to jump. No, don't jump. Don't jump. Wow. Incredible. I'll give you a hand. Yay. This is akin to hard labor. It's insane to work in the ice.
No, there are harder jobs, but it is very physical work. It's nice to be out in the fresh air, though. The hardest thing is making sure we don't hit an air pocket, or all our work will be wasted.
If Andre hits an air pocket, water will come rushing into the hole, everything will freeze, and you'll have to start all over again. The myth of Sisyphus. Siberian style. Right, wood duty with Dad. Not wood, ice. Off we go. Wow. It's cracking. What a lovely dress. She's the prettiest Yakut in town. The prettiest Yakut around. Oh, what's this? It's my last evening with Tarma and Nikolai. The whole family has got together again. A little fellow. This is for you. Lots of different things to eat. It's my turn to give them a taste of a French speciality. It's foie gras. It's duck. She's not saying anything. It isn't any stranger than frozen foal liver. I'm sorry, but hey, you're just eating the fat. Where's the bread? I think you have to be brave to live here. Do you realize that? Are you aware of it? Tell me.
No, on the contrary. Living here is interesting. Because we have a real summer, a real autumn, a real spring, and a real winter. So we have 4 real seasons that we really look forward to. That's what we love. Even in summer, we sometimes miss the cold when our hands and bodies are freezing.
Thanks for your welcome, for all these days and nights.
We've got used to having you here, you know. You've adapted really well. You obviously felt at home, always coming and going. You know how to dress now, too. You've got used to our winter.
For me, it's as if you're not visiting from France, but had lived here for ages. That's how I feel. I'm going to miss you.
I'm going to miss all of you too. Thanks to you, I've overcome my dumb prejudices. No, the coldest city on Earth is not a gigantic ice cube inhabited by survivors. The Yakuts are full of life and proud of their city. And when they welcome you, they don't do things by halves.
Watch out, it stinks.
It's okay. Oh yeah. It smells like burnt pork. I've burnt my sock. I'm not sure. I'm happy to try it on, but I'm not sure. No, definitely not. Damn.
Oh putain!